Welcome to the Alchemist Inkwell.
This is your spiritual podcast for grounded people.
I like blanked out for a second there. I'm like, hello. Wait, this is not just a call. Right, I have a line.
Hi. No, we've already been talking for 2 hours. It's fine. It's fine. It's one of those days.
Okay.
We are coming to you from last week. So it is February 2nd on the day that we are recording this. We are still dealing with the revelation of some things and processing stuff.
Where I'm at right now, it's 1111122. So that's fun because it's 1111 on 22.
It's
so
211 for me.
The stack is nice.
So.
There's a validation for all of you from the past.
Yes, from the past. Whatever you're thinking right now. Welcome to the Alchemist Inkwell.
On that note, because like you said, we're processing things, and there's a lot of stuff that just came out. 3 million things that just came out, actually.
3 million things.
Do you have any idea how much paper that is?
And it's not even like half at all.
How do you generate that much of a paper trail in your life? Like, a dictionary is 1,200 pages.
Well, I mean...
1,200.
The ego is wild. I haven't looked at that chart. I kind of refuse to look at that chart. There are a couple charts I refuse to like save or look at or whatever. And since that one has already, technically expired, I choose not to. Also, but yeah. So, but the ego's got to be heavy.
All ego.
It just has to be.
All
it has
ego.
To be.
Just.
Yeah. All ego all the time. That and paranoia, because you needed so much to blackmail so many people with. Maybe just don't do bad stuff.
Fun thought. Don't do bad things, and you won't need to blackmail people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And to be
solve the source of the problem.
About the bad things you've done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Didn't ask us though. Didn't ask us, which
No, they should have.
There's a lot of things I feel like I should be consulted on that I'm just not.
Right? I should be there's a lot of things that I just want to be like on a stool in the corner of the room commenting on.
I just want to be like, what do you think? I want everyone to be like, what should we do about this situation? Not everyone. Some people are very responsible and lovely people, but a lot of situations I'm like, let me help because like we could just make it better.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Whatever. Speaking of big ego, I think I can help in every situation. Just kidding.
That's compassion, isn't it?
Truly, it is out of the betterment of all mankind.
Yeah.
I feel this way.
It's confidence in your ability.
Oh,
yeah.
Ugh, bleh. Anyway,
Man.
We're still going through that. I'm sure you're still going through that because, again, 3.5 million documents. And I hope that you're taking care of yourself with that. The other thing that's important to note, and I just want to remind everybody of this because we are in the past. I'm sure more stuff has happened this week. We don't know what that is, though, because we're in the past. So if you're, like, listening to this being like, why won't you talk about, or why haven't they talked about XYZ thing? Like, again, we're a week ago, and if a big thing happened this week, which it likely will, or would have for you, we don't know. We'll talk about it next week, though.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week. And typically, we have our Alchemist Inkspill live broadcasts for that kind of thing. Not this week, though. In your life this week.
On the 14th,
so on the 14th.
The 13th.
Or on, sorry, on the 13th.
We have one, so
the 13th.
Friday.
Yes.
Friday the 13th.
So we'll do a recap that day. Anything you want to. Yeah, Friday the 13th. And Friday the 13th is the day Saturn goes into Aries.
No. Why did it do that?
It's just like, well, because it had to be ironic, I guess.
The history of Friday the 13th is actually a heavily divine feminine one. So 13 is like a very, very powerful, especially in ancient cultures, number associated with women. And same with the day Friday, Freya's Day. We get that. So it genuinely...
It's also Venus's day.
Venus's Day. So it genuinely was for like women and divine energy there and whatever. And so of course they made it a horrible thing. Of course they made it an unlucky thing because... Yeah, well... Why?
Because ego. We're back to ego.
Wow.
And like... On that note, Saturn going into Aries, which we can talk about because we're going to talk about pretty much all of February at this point. But Saturn moving into Aries is that sort of life spark point, which can be very closely associated with the ego. It's the I, right? So your Freudian ego. Is it Freud? It's one of those guys.
That's Freud.
Ego, id, and super ego. Yeah. See, I know my stuff. But Saturn moving into there is going to cause problems with that kind of stuff. A lot.
Are we all so excited?
And
Everyone
that's
cheer.
between yay. Between that and the Aries Ingress primary themes, I really want people to be thinking about not only your boundaries, but the reality and the truths you choose to believe. The truths you choose to believe, because you really do build your world with what you think.
Really, really do.
You think, therefore, you are in that world. To quote another, Descartes. See, we're all philosophical right now.
Especially because on top of all of that too, yes, your boundaries and like figuring, like thinking positive self-talk and deciding what you actually want and starting to move forward towards that and those kinds of things. Absolutely. Also, magic is so much right now. And like, I know a lot of people are feeling very disconnected from their guides or disconnected from that. And it's like, because there's so much happening. And I mean that wholeheartedly. There's so many timeline things happening. There's so much magical energy coming in. Like, I even made a video about this recently, because if you'll just scroll through social media, you'll see so many orbs and videos. Like, physical eye, you'll just see them.
I saw your video on this.
They're around. Like, there's so much of that added in there too. So having even more of those same boundaries and like actually deciding what you want and thinking and becoming through thought and those kinds of, like, super important for even just the magical energy around.
It really, really is. There's so many reasons I could support this, even with astrology and stuff. But like, forget the astrology for a second and just reclaim your own power. And realize that, like, you are going to have to decide where you stand, what you stand for, what you won't stand for. Just like all of those things. And it starts with the very closest things to you and goes out from there. Because it's going to be wild.
It is time to stand for some stuff too. And not just because of what's going on in the like cultural moment, but in the energy moment too. It's very much a stand for what you believe in, decide what you believe in, figure out what you believe in, and actually like stand for that in your own space. Like, it doesn't have to be against someone. And I think that that's always important. Like, obviously there's a lot of ways to stand up for what you believe in right now that is very blatantly against the very corrupt space we find ourselves in, and that's wonderful. Go to the protests, do the things, whatever, for sure. Which we ended up going on Friday. It was very fun, by the way. I'll talk about it in a second. But also standing for that in your own space. Like, you don't have to declare it to anyone to be something that's big and impactful to you. Like, to figure out what matters to you, to figure out what you believe in, what you will and won't stand for, to actually establish boundaries for yourself. Like, make a commitment of a boundary that you're going to have for you. And I think we forget that a lot, because boundaries feel like there's so much about enforcing other people. But, like, we can make our boundaries for ourselves also. And there's so... And it's not just like, oh, you know, my boundary is that, like, I'm not going to interact with toxic people or whatever. Like, that's great. You can do that. But it can also be a boundary of, like, you're going to prioritize doing something fun every day. Like, this is the boundary for me. Like, I'm going to make sure I do that because I know it makes me feel better. Or, you know, or, like, almost like a goal setting, but not quite, if that makes sense. But that's also a way to stand for stuff. To actually figure out what's a priority and, like, do the things you want to do.
Yeah. Well, think about the word boundary. Has the metaphorical sense of I am holding a boundary. But boundaries are the lines we draw, and the lines we draw become the foundations that we stand upon. Are you standing on something that can support you? You have to build that yourself.
The lines we draw become the foundations we stand upon? Ooh, spicy.
Ooh. Copyright, KristaLyn Sophia, 2026.
Down and put it in like a little graphic post for Insta, because that is a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you could do a little swipe through with like some more info on boundaries. Built it for itself. Info for the Saturn-Neptune conjunction coming up on February 20th. I would start with that. I would start with that line, the line you just said that was Chef's Kiss. Then it's info about this. Then talking about it. Oh. Yep. That's fun. You should do that. Canva it up. Yeah, except I hate Canva and I hate designing that kind of stuff. I can come up with the ideas for eternity, but actually designing that kind of stuff, it's going to look ugly. So I'm going to hate it, so I'm never going to actually post it. So you have it here. Yeah. You just need to make like one template and then just plug everything into that going forward. I have that one template. It's just also ugly and I hate it. I can make you one. My Libra-ness can like sparkle. I know. Yeah, I hate social media because it's just a realm I don't dance well in. I'm always tripping over myself. On that note, we both got upscrolled. We did. Except it wouldn't let me post over the weekend. Everything else would. And it was like, no internet. Hit real quick. Upscrolled is a Palestinian-owned hybrid. It feels like old school Twitter and old school Instagram had a baby with videos. That's the best way I can describe it. But it's a new social media thing. So if you want to go over to Upscrolled, it's Palestinian-owned. Like I mentioned, it's a lot more free speechy, not corporation-y at the moment. So we're there. I'm just gonna keep
Yep.
posting my normal stuff there. But if you're looking for like a TikTok alternative or something, it is a decent-ish option at the moment. I don't really super like the Discover page currently. I like going through by hashtag, and then it kind of curates some stuff better because the hashtags are actually effective. But yeah.
Yeah. I remember a time where hashtags worked on other apps.
Remember that? Remember when it wasn't just for like some weird SEO stuff? It would just like actually be functional.
Yeah.
Anyway, if anyone wants to join us there, we're the same handles we always are. Like our words, KristaLyn and Sophia. Hang out.
Yep. Thank goodness I picked a weird name.
You did pick a weird name. Mine is actually surprisingly
love it. It's mine.
not super common either with the Dexter part of it, which is kind of fun. It's the first time in my whole life that's happened.
Yeah.
I've had multiple names.
Yeah, we actually had fun in San Francisco we found your name plenty, but we tried to find my name.
Listen,
and did not
we
succeed.
did succeed. So we went into the name store.
We had to spell it.
And it's the name store. We're walking around because we stayed like near kind of Fisherman's Wharf because there's like our favorite cafes are like right around there, and it's like, oh, so good. But we walked down to like Pier 39, and we were like, okay, like we'll just walking around. We're just like drinking coffee, chilling. And then we went into the name store because it's like a touristy zone, right? So they have like the shop with all the stuff that like you can find your name in here. And of course we couldn't find Krista with a K, which is weird. I think
we couldn't find it with a
I feel like
CH
that's
either.
something
Like I didn't find Krista
should
at
be
all.
around, but so we found they had a bunch of stuff with individual letters. This is primarily some keychains. So we blended a bunch of the keychains together to form your name. So we did find your name. It was just deconstructed.
I had the largest name in the store.
It was just a deconstructed version of your name.
Yes, or reconstructed.
Well, we found it deconstructed.
Yeah,
we
made it happen. We made our reality. We had a vision. We made it real.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we found your name in the name store, and then half of it was like a left-hand store, and then like the clerk was like, "Not the way," and we were like, "We need to leave." She's way too passionate about left-handed things.
Yeah, I love left-handedness. Apparently, I was born left-handed. I'm not. I'm both now. But my dad's left-handed. I think my brother's left-handed. I can't remember. But Dan's left-handed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my son's left-handed. My mother-in-law's left-handed. My son was actually supposed to be right-handed, but then he has cerebral palsy, so the right side of his body's all fucky. So he's actually left-handed because of ease there. But yeah, left hands are cool.
My left hand is where the damage is.
Not me. Is there a hole in the sticky ball? I think
there
is. There is. I can squeeze the goo out. It's goo hold. Do you see?
Oh no.
Oh, that's
trying to figure out what this is a metaphor for.
Well, goodbye. You were fun for a minute.
Yeah.
I cannot abide.
Everything has its time.
Though. Like.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah. Farewell, sticky ball.
I will squeeze it all out of this little hole just to see, but it's that's a no from me. That's not going to happen.
Yes.
It's a speck too. Usually those are really good.
Oh. Oh yeah, spec stuff's great. We should do an episode about just like our favorite fidgets at some point. Let us know if you would like that in the comments. You know what else is happening this week? Weird. I'm feeling very weird. I'm sorry about that.
We are? I am. I don't know.
This week, something really nice is happening. And one thing is going to make everybody groan. And then another thing is like, two more years of caution.
I'm really struggling with the stickiness.
I hope everybody's watching the video.
And I'm like, I just can't.
I wish I could give you like a wet nap or something. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I got a shirt. It's fine. Keep going. I want you to hear your thing. I just am being weird with my sticky sensory.
On the 10th of February, as we're going into February here, and this is the 9th, tomorrow, from the day you are watching / listening to this, Venus is going into Pisces, and she's going to stay there for the rest of February. And this is great because Venus is exalted in Pisces. It's wonderful for poetry, for writing, for imagination, for indulging in all the things you love a lot, and any like fantasy stuff that you want to go for. Your whimsy is ready for you with Venus in Pisces.
I love a good whimsy.
Yeah. The queen of whimsy in Pisces. I feel so bad for you.
I don't mean to have sensory problems on the recording.
No, I get it. I relate so hard.
Why is it?
Welcome to the most neurodiverse spiritual podcast. Yes.
You please
Shall
do.
I continue?
Please do. I'm just scrubbing my thumb. Just
Okay,
ignore
okay.
me.
Okay, I'll give you some time. It's fine. It's fine. You're doing great. So on the 11th, though, Mercury's also in Pisces and has the opposite effect there. Still really great for poetry, right? Because Mercury wants to kind of organize and calculate, but cannot do that in Pisces. So this is where we bring in even more whimsy. Mercury's been in Pisces since the 6th. It is detriment and fall there. But as far as planets in detriment or fall go, Mercury in Pisces is actually like my favorite vibe. So that's great. And on the 11th, Mercury will enter pre-shadow for its next retrograde.
So
which
we
starts
get a
on the
retrograde
26th of February.
and eclipse season, having a baby. I hate that.
Yes. Oh,
I don't
baby.
want an eclipse retrograde baby.
Rest
That
in
is
peace, Catherine
terrifying.
O'Hara. I know. Well, the retrograde happens in the middle of
Doesn't
eclipse
make
season.
it better, Krista.
No, I did try, though.
Like, oh, let me give you something about it that's worse, actually. Is to make it feel better.
Listen, I'm working with what I got here. Because the next thing I got to tell you is that Saturn is going into Aries, where it's in its fall. And if you remember last year before May, when things were just really hard, we're coming back to that. But we're coming back to finish it this time.
I have sensory issues and
no more
Saturn's a butthead,
dilly-dallying.
so I'm holding Apollo cow.
I know.
I'm just gonna cope.
Yeah, and you know, my condolences to everybody out there who has Saturn in Aries. It is your Saturn return time.
Congratulations!
Yes, you are
Let us
coming
know
of
if that is
age.
you in the comments. We want to celebrate with you.
Yes.
And also cry with you.
Yeah. We've been
We
there.
survived.
We've been there. It's okay. You will be. You will be.
You will be. You'll be more you by the end of it. Like, honestly, it's,
Yes, you'll be so much more you.
It is really cool in its function. It's just the process that sucks.
Exactly. Like, I remember coming out on the other end of Saturn return just being like, oh, this is who I am and I don't care about other people's, you know, impressions and expectations of me so much. Yay. But you have to go through it to get to the other side of that. So lots to look forward to, and just take it one step at a time. Saturn in Aries is in fall because Saturn in Libra, the opposite side, is exalted. So this is Saturn not having its best time. Saturn, again, boundaries, lines that we draw. And Aries doesn't allow it to do that as well as Libra does. You know, Libra's like, hey, I found balance. I'm going to give you justice and all this stuff. And Aries is like, anarchy. And Saturn's like, God dang it.
I do like some anarchy,
I
though.
said it.
Let's be real.
Yeah,
Anarchy
I
is a
said it.
vibe. One of the tattoos I want to get from Dungeon Crawler Carl, which, you know, is like my all-time favorite book series, he has a book, and it's the Anarchist Cookbook, and I want that book and like a little crown on my arm, but then I'm going to have an anarchy symbol on my arm, and I'm like, ew, that maybe is not what I want, but I do want it.
Maybe not this year, but maybe later.
Later on.
Yeah. Later on, because there will
Right?
be a later on.
There will be. One of my favorite quotes, and I keep, I heard this, Dad Chats. I don't know if you follow him. He and I are mutuals, and he's a wonderful, both him and Mom Chats. They do some kids contests. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah.
in Minnesota.
Yeah.
They're like right outside of St. Paul, I think. And so they've been sharing some content about that. But he shared this story, and basically the takeaway, like, quote from this story that he saw spray paint on a building. He saw the first half spray paint on a building one day, and then like a while later, when he really needed it most, the second half was sprayed underneath it. And so he kind of shared that, and I've been living off of this quote, and I hope it helps all of you. I'll share it right now, but it's, tomorrow will be better, but today must happen first. And it makes me feel much better about life. So
I'm so glad people are coming to that part of the process that we're in, you know, because there was a long time where we were like, how do we stop it? How do we stop it? How do we stop it? And we're just like, do we want to stop this process of becoming something new? I don't want to stop the process of becoming, I wish it wasn't called for, but since it is, let's go.
No,
right?
I feel the same.
Like,
I also, are you good?
I accidentally touched my desk. It's okay.
I wish it wasn't called for either, but I will say, having now seen even a tiny little fraction of 3.5 million documents, our government is not functioning. It's not a functioning government system.
And
it is
wasn't.
a non-functioning government system, period. I just found more sticky. And it's, and with it's not functioning, like, there is no recourse for the person that is in the helm of our country at this point, and that means the entire system is broken. And so if we need a new one, like, let's get a fucking new one. Like, that's, because this is crazy. So that's how I feel.
Yeah. And the thing is, the period that so many people are nostalgic for, that's when a lot of this was happening. There is no period of nostalgia that was better. We just weren't aware. We have awareness now.
White.
Yeah. Well, and that kept us from awareness too, which sucks. Yeah. But we know now, so we should know better and we should do better. And I every step you can find, which includes rest, take it. Yeah. One of the things I'm doing right now, by the way, side note, have you heard about the Melt the Ice Norwegian hat?
No, there's a Norwegian hat.
Oh my God. So back in the 40s, there was a hat in Norway that was worn so frequently for such a purpose that it was outlawed, because the bad people didn't like that people were wearing it in solidarity. On Ravelry, it is $5, and it does get donated to people who are suffering from icy conditions.
I will absolutely make that right now.
Yeah. I just finished my brim this morning. Yeah. With a little tassel and everything. It's adorable as well.
As fuck, so remember.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, Em needs to know about this. Yeah.
I had this exact hat growing up with the tassel and everything.
Yep. There's a knitting and a crochet pattern, so just make sure you get the one that you want. But yeah, proceeds do go to a good cause as well. So I have that I literally, I finished the brim this morning. It's amazing how pretty easy it is.
Oh my gosh.
So instead of, they use a slip knot for the brim, I used just a single crochet in the back loop.
All right.
But,
full transparency, I hate hats, but I will wear it.
Right? Yeah.
I hate it though. But that's happening. Oh my God, I'm gonna do that. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait to move on to the actual hat. It comes to a point, and it's got a tassel for anybody who's wondering. So it is actually kind of like adorable, and a little bit gnomish, which is great. So feel free to look that up.
It's on my list. I gotta get some nice red yarn though.
Yeah.
Justin's gonna be like, "Why are you getting more yarn?" Because I am.
Because it's important. Yeah. No, I got some. We were celebrating. I haven't said this on the podcast yet. I'm going to be a speaker at the United Astrological Conference.
Okay, we need to hype this up so much more, though.
Yes.
Like, no. We're not just throwing this in there. UAC, the United Astrology Conference, what? Yeah, happens every 4 years. It's the Olympics of astrology, and Krista is speaking at it. This is the biggest deal thing. Like, you need to be way more hyped.
Yeah, I was selected, which is nice.
You need to hype yourself up on that.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, Dan thought so too. He took me to buy some yarn, and he took me to Mama Luna's.
Good.
Yeah, because we couldn't get into town to go to get oatmeal cream pies, so bummer. But yeah, so I decided to go and get a bunch of yarn, and it was buy two get one free that day, so I got so much yarn. Yeah,
I have so much
and
yarn.
Then I started making my hat.
It's actually a problem.
Me too. Well. So I'm actually also in the middle of a process, which is harder than I thought it was, because I got fuzzy yarn, so I can't see my V's half the time that I'm trying to like work into. Yeah. So I'm actually making the Tiger Derpy from K-pop Demon Hunters, and it is quite large. And yeah, it's just taking forever because it's fuzzy.
Accidentally, and I truly mean this accidentally, I accidentally made an absolutely massive Baphomet. Recently, it looks like this. Here, I'll show it on the camera. It looks like that little guy. See that little pink guy? See how that one's a normal size? Yeah, multiply that by like 8. It's freaking huge. And it's just like a yarn weight / hook size issue. But I accidentally made a huge Baphomet. It's now on my couch. It's massive. So I relate to the fluffy yarn V situation problem because I've been following the instructions for this tiger, and I wanted it to be like an actual stuffy, but the fluffiness is causing some more, substance to it. So yeah, and just to tie this back in, crafts and crochet and that kind of stuff. Whimsy is resistance.
This is our Whimsy is resistance. Thank you. Sorry, guys.
Sorry. We talked about Whimsy. We talked about resistance. Actually, when we went to the protest, so we went to the ISAP protests I live in a tiny, tiny, tiny little mountain town, but there's still like over 500 people, and it was like really amazing. And I love my little town and how many people showed up, and I love it.
Yeah.
But we went, we had signs. I may have painted my sign like 15 minutes before, and it may have still been wet, but I had it in my hands.
It's all that matters.
But the lady next to me, I got so inspired by it because she came and she had this rolled up thing, and she unrolled it, and it was a quilted resist. So it said resist, and it was a quilt, and it was like,
oh my gosh,
holdable. And I was
and
like,
see, that's what I love,
brilliant.
though.
I will be crocheting
because,
that I will be crocheting.
Yeah. There is a subreddit called Anti-Fascist Crochet, in case you're wondering. But the cool thing about that, right, is the entire time that she was sitting there making that quilt, the entire time we will make these red hats, we are thinking about that. And so that meditative process goes into the energy. Like, there is so much magic that comes from stitching and crochet and that kind of stuff. It is historical and insane across the globe. So it's definitely, just, it's my something I can do right now. And it helps me a lot.
No, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. And like, they also, on top of that, knot tying is a form of magic. There's a whole magic system around knot tying.
Yeah.
So you are essentially doing
100%.
that also, whether you crochet or you knit or you sew. Like, you're doing that. That's what you're doing, is you're tying knots.
You're tying knots in intricate ways with a lot of intention.
And that is a magic system in and of itself, which is cool. I will say the energy of February. So remember how January was 85 years long? We were in January for 3 years at least. I swear to God, it was so long. February's gonna go by like that. What February? It's just gonna.
I hope it does. It never does for me. February for me is like April for you. So I can't stand this month. But I hope it feels fast for all of us.
When I
really
look
do
at it,
want
the
that.
energy's like
I
a
do
blip.
want that.
Like, February feels so insubstantial compared to March.
Yeah. Okay. So some of the astrology that remains in February, and I think it's going to go fast because so much will happen potentially. Because we do have the eclipses starting on the 17th with a solar eclipse that's not total and it's not like visible over the United States a ton. That will be the first eclipse though in Aquarius. So we are having a nodal shift this year to top everything else off, as if not enough was changing.
I don't mind having
that's
a nodal
happening.
shift. I don't mind having a nodal shift because I was tired of the old nodes.
Oh, except these are
well,
my
the old ones were my nodes. So you take the nodes.
That's
I've been sitting under my
I'll
nodes
take the nodes.
forever. So like your turn.
No, 12th house year and the nodes. Dang it.
I've got nodes. Sorry.
No, it's exactly what I'm thinking.
It's a pitch perfect reference. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about pitch perfect.
Nodes are not typically contagious unless they're lunar
nodes are contagious.
They will come.
But you'll
for
get a
you
deep voice
every
out of
9
it.
years.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I wish. So then we get Pisces season on the 18th. That's about as docile as the month gets. The 18th will bring us Pisces season. The sun will move into Pisces. Its last stretch before the Aries ingress kicks off the astrology of 2026, which I can't wait to talk about because I'm just sitting on it right now. I'm probably going to do a Patreon recording for everybody in the podcast here and higher. You will get an invitation to come do it live with me. There will be a half hour where I do a general overview that will be shared publicly, and then another half hour where I will go into the deeper stuff that you, by being a patron, have told me you want. And you'll be able to tell me what you want because you'll be there. So I'm planning that. I got to figure out when, but follow the Patreon to figure that out. And then we'll do the Aries ingress there and kind of anticipate as much as possible.
So that's the start of the year. So right now in February, we have the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, all that stuff. That's in February. So if you want to look for some fun stuff, that's going to be actually our next podcast episode comes out on that day because it's the 16th. So that's kind of exciting. Yeah. So there's that New Year. The astrological New Year is the Aries ingress, which is the start of Aries season, which happens in March. So,
yes, it's a solar calendar.
So just so you know where all of the New Years are coming in, that's why. Those are the different New Years that we're kind of playing around with and going through. So if you're like, which one is it? It's that. Very much so.
The astrology of 2026 will kick off with the Aries ingress of the sun. So and that's where we go.
Yeah, in March.
And I will say one of the things that I am watching potentially the most, it's one of the top three of the year, happens in February. People have been talking about it nonstop for about 2 years now. It is that Saturn
Oh
Neptune
yeah.
conjunction. It will finally perfect. They have been within a degree of each other for the last year. So we've been feeling this coming on, but they've been dancing over that Aries line, Aries then Pisces. Now Neptune has already come back into Aries recently, as of the 26th of January. Saturn comes into Pisces on the 13th, or into Aries, my bad. Neptune is in Aries as of the 26th of January. Saturn is in Aries as of the 13th of January. And then Saturn catches up to Neptune to the degree on the 20th, which is that conjunction. And I expect that to maybe show us something in the surrounding weeks of it, because they are slow moving planets, and they're already, within the orb, so to speak. But just know Saturn and Neptune are complete opposites in their archetypes. Saturn, structure; Neptune, illusion, disillusion, blurring
It's
of the
literally
lines.
like
It's
the 60s.
as
Yeah, like the way
abstract
that
as
the
it gets.
60s was,
Yeah.
where it's like the whole hippie movement and like the hyper militarization of
Yeah.
the Vietnam War. That it's not, it didn't happen then, but that's the vibe.
Well, actually, it might have. I'd have to double check because it's happened before.
Let me. That's what
But yeah,
totally happened. No.
it wasn't in Aries in the 60s, because Neptune hasn't been in Aries since the 1860s.
Oh, I wonder what happened then.
But
Oh, the 1860s.
yeah,
Huh.
1861 to 1874, in case you're wondering.
Which is a really specific time frame.
It is. It is. And for that to be happening, coinciding with so many other cycles right now that are happening, again, we are the change. Why try to go back? There is no
There
back
is
to
no
go to.
back.
Let's go forward. There is
There
no
is
back.
no
Yeah.
future. There
On
is.
the upside, though, we do on the 22nd get a trine between the benefics, both in their exaltations. This is unique. Jupiter's still retrograde, but we'll take it. We can't have everything right now.
Can we have
So
one thing?
Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Yeah. We can have one thing. We can have Venus exalted and Jupiter exalted trine each
Okay,
other.
that
It is
sounds
like
nice.
the ideal situation if only Jupiter weren't so close to being
Jupiter,
stationary.
stop.
Yeah. Yeah, Jupiter is so close, so close. I'm trying to find a talisman for this thing for like the last year since June, and I still haven't found one. And I only have until June to find one. And it's like, you are my Jupiter return, and I have to wait 12 years, and I want it. And it's not cooperating with me. I have March and April. Actually, I have April because I've already looked into March. April and May are my like last ditch attempts.
I hope for
but
you
yeah.
a good thing in April, because April is trash.
I know, me too. Just one good Jupiter day. One good Jupiter day I can make a talisman out of and cling to for the rest of my life would be great. Yes, so February 26th, Mercury retrograde until March 20th. So,
Yay.
and then Mars square Uranus. So that's it. That's it. I'm done.
No, I thank you for going through that. And we're going to talk about these things as they come up, especially the eclipse, which next podcast episode, we're going to dedicate a ton of time talking about just the eclipse, which, by the way, solar eclipse first, and that's a decapitator of kings. We like that.
It's, yeah. There's been some interesting predictions
Yeah,
around that
so
time as well. From
we'll see.
just
We'll talk
random
about
stuff.
that more. But we wanted to give you kind of an overview of like what you're looking ahead at, because January was so long, and February is really honestly intense with its transit energy. I really wish that I could sit here and be like, the energy forecast is going to be so great. There's some really bright spots, but honestly, it's really fast. It goes fast and hard. Like it just boom, 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 and then we're into March, which I do like. March's energy. March's energy feels kind of cool. It feels warm. So that's fun. April can go kick rocks, but I haven't actually looked at it yet because it can kick rocks. So it could be amazing. But in my personal opinion, it can fall down a well.
Well, March does get Jupiter going direct, so I do like that for us. Plus, we get the Aries ingress.
So as I said, March feels nice. April,
yeah.
but March feels nice. I don't know if April's bad. Again, I haven't looked, but I just hate it. So I'm going to talk shit on April all the time. Yeah. So we wanted to we'll talk about that with you guys because it's important.
Yeah. Lots is coming up.
Yeah. We'll be there. We'll be there to share in this forum. To help you navigate it through. Yeah. I do appreciate the whimsy, though. That is something to anchor. Like, that's a thing to hang our red tasseled hats on is that Whimsy.
Mm-hmm. Whimsy and resistance. We're going to need both. You have to sustain yourself. Just, you know, you need your rations, but you also need cake.
Yep.
So
You do need cake.
Yep.
Oh my God, Weston and I went out to this restaurant this weekend, and it was such a terrible experience. I'm not going to name it because I don't blame the restaurant, but they very deeply misrepresent themselves on their website. On their website, it looks like kind of classy, high-end Italian food, and we're like, oh, okay, this seems like it would be nice. Like, we'll go out. It felt like a sports bar. They didn't even have tablecloths. Like, we're talking like...
No.
Yeah. Wooden table, sports bar. Which is fine if the food would have been good, because again, classy. Like, I looked at the menu beforehand. I'm like, okay, it's like higher end Italian food. You ever had a tiramisu that had no coffee soaking? It was just ladyfinger cream. Real gross.
Yeah,
so
that sounds
it was,
super dry.
an experience, but it reminded me of cake, and I was like, oh, I want good cake. The last cake I had was not moist.
Oh my God. It is so sad when food is disappointing.
It was a problem, actually.
It hurts so bad, especially when you're anticipating it and you're like, oh, I'm so excited about this, and then you get to it and it's like, no. Yeah. No, it's devastating. Oh.
It was a blow. It was a deep blow.
Yeah, I remember. So this is a very Scorpio.
Bring it on. I love your scorpionic stories.
So, the first dog that I had when she died, we're off to a good start. So my dog had just died, and my mom decided rather than helping me cope, we were going to go shopping, and then we were going to go get chocolate cake. And that was going to make me feel better. I'm 16. Like, I needed more than that, but it's okay. So like, I'm walking around the mall crying, trying to like find joy in shopping because I knew that's what was wanted from me. And then we go to this place, we have lunch, and I am like, at least there will be cake at the end. There will be chocolate cake. It's like this tiered thing. I already know I like it. It's something I look forward to. And I ask for the chocolate cake, and they come back and they say, I'm sorry, we're all out. And at this table, I start bawling.
No, they did you
like,
dirty, actually.
Absolute,
like, that's actually
not
horrible.
Bawling.
You had every right to cry.
Because they didn't know. They didn't know that my dog had just died. And like, we had spent, she was a year and a day younger than me. And so I had her my whole life. And then this had happened, and like we had to leave the country a week later.
The way you said that was like you were fleeing something.
We were doing something that I shouldn't talk about, but every time I went to Bulgaria, it was to help a child get to and from Bulgaria for reasons that were good, and I have no regrets about. But yeah, so we were doing that the following week, and so I had to like buck up pretty quickly, and it just was really hard.
Damn.
And they didn't have the cake.
Did your mom take you to a different place for cake? Of course she didn't.
No, we just had to deal.
Kathy.
We didn't. You know where I live, Em. Where were we gonna go?
Far away. Drive an hour.
Oh well.
Like
Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
Harrisburg had cake. Okay.
Harrisburg probably had cake. Yeah.
You could have made it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was an attempt, but yeah.
I'm so sorry. I would get you a multi-level chocolate cake in recompense, but I know now you probably would not be as stoked about it.
Are you kidding? I would still be stoked about it. It's been 20 years. I would still be stoked.
Oh, we had a good dessert when we were in San Francisco. It was like a gelatin cake.
I did.
It was like
which I'm not usually like a gelatin person, but it was nice.
It was like yummy.
Yeah,
we enjoyed it. It was a vibe.
Yeah. We had a really good time out there. It felt ideal.
Speaking of vibes, does anyone want to talk about whether or not somebody's an asshole?
Yes, it is time for, what do we call this?
What in the woo woo?
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 We're
still new to this, but we're doing.
But we're gonna let's do it. Got the Reddit post this time. And it is, am I the asshole for playing with a Ouija board, even though it terrifies my wife? Are we ready? Okay.
So ready?
I'm an atheist. My wife is Catholic and more spiritual, but not super religious. It's never been an issue in our relationship up until this point, which I hesitate to think that's true. Like,
This just seems like a discussion you have
Well,
before marriage, but that
even
might
that
just
being
be
like an
me.
atheist married to a Catholic, I think it probably has presented more trouble than just this situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like maybe
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't perceive it that way.
Maybe he
Right.
doesn't know
Maybe
it.
he doesn't
Yeah.
perceive that, but I bet you, like, she's sad he won't go to church with her or, you know, whatever. Like, there's probably more issues
Mm-hmm.
than that.
Or he probably has taken a
Oh,
dig
for
on
sure.
occasion
For
at
sure. So, like,
something.
I think that
Yeah.
alone is short sighted. This is from like 5 years ago, by the way, this post, but
Mm-hmm.
we're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I recently had some friends over. We were drinking and got into talking about ghosts and scary movies. One of my friends said he had a Ouija board in his car. Which, why would you have that? But okay.
I,
That we should play with it.
yeah.
Again, why is it in your vehicle? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I thought, what the hell, it'll be funny. So he brought it in and we fucked around with it. It ended up being really fun. We all tried to scare each other with it. I personally don't believe in Ouija boards do anything, but some of my friends do, and so it was fun seeing them get freaked out when I manipulated the game piece. We also told,
Which,
yeah,
right there,
you're
you
the
are the
asshole.
a-hole.
100%. And again, I don't believe you don't have previous problems with your wife's religion based on that paragraph. I don't believe you.
Mm-hmm. You literally, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
That's
like
not
you
nice.
clearly were just doing it to like hurt people, fuck with people, which by the way is stupid. We're gonna go into this more, but like it's stupid. Don't play with a Ouija board. It's not a toy. It's not. It's bad. Anyway, we also told some stupid jokes and it was hilarious. 10 out of 10 would recommend playing drunk with the Ouija board. I would not. 0 out of 10. -5 out of 10.
Especially drunk. Like your judgment's off and you're more open
The
and
things
like,
you're going to call forward to talk to you. The thing is like with a Ouija board,
yeah.
it's not inherently a negative thing. The problem is it's a very strong communication device, and unless you have the discernment and the shielding to be like, I only want to talk to this thing, this being, you're just basically like putting up the bat signal to whatever wants to come talk to you, and that's not great.
Exactly. It's not the Ouija board. It's the intent and the use of the Ouija board.
Literally. And like people don't know what to do with it, so they end up bringing in. It's not even always something inherently negative, but it's something that has enough strong energy to talk to you, and that oftentimes is very scary.
Yeah, and by treating it like a game, you are not
No.
putting your
Oh my
shields
god,
up.
no. And being drunk, hard pass.
Yeah, yeah.
So 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that. Yeah. Okay. Then my wife ended up coming down to say goodnight, and she flipped her shit when she saw the Ouija board, as she should. She started having a panic attack and told us to get that evil thing out of the house. It was extremely embarrassing. My friends packed up and went home. I hope they've gotten a divorce, because, dude, your wife's having a panic attack and you're embarrassed.
And you're embarrassed and you prioritize your friends and like, also, like your wife has to be upstairs. What are your friends like?
Yeah, that's also a good point. Why wasn't she hanging out and drinking?
Yeah. I mean, and I get people having different friends in their own spaces and stuff. So like whatever, but also
I don't know. That is also a big red flag. I didn't
Given
even
the
pick
rest
up
of
on
the
that, but you're right. That
context.
one's also like a red
Yeah.
flag to me.
Yeah.
We got into a huge argument. My wife told me that this is a boundary for her and she does not want me using a Ouija board in our home ever. I agree. I think it's ridiculous for her to try to control what I can and can't do with my friends based on her religious beliefs. She says that if I don't respect this boundary,
point.
I'm an asshole. I say if she keeps trying to control me, she's an asshole. She is right. My friends and I are already planning another get together and they want to bust out the Ouija board again. I'm planning on letting them.
Then
It's
go
fun
to
and
their
harmless.
house.
No, it's not. No, it's not. My wife is pissed and told me she will never forgive me if I go through with it, as she shouldn't. She even got my mom involved, and my mom
Also-
my mom said I'm being a huge asshole too. Your own mother. Sorry.
Yeah. But also like if your friends saw your wife feeling that way and they still want to bust it out again, bad friends.
Straight up bad friends. At this point, I'm furious because it's my house and I'm being told I can't play a game, all caps, with my friends because my wife believes it's evil. What the fuck? Question mark. I also say what the fuck? Question mark, but in a different way.
Yeah.
But in a different way, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the levels of like
even if it's not about a Ouija board, okay? Remove that completely. Maybe you're doing some other game. Maybe it's truth or dare and something gets broken, right? Whatever. Remove the spiritual piece entirely. Your wife has had a panic attack. She clearly has enough reason to be that disturbed to cause her to have a panic attack. And then she has stated clearly, this is her boundary. Do not do it in her house. She didn't even tell you you couldn't do it again. She just said you can't do it in her house again because it makes her uncomfortable. Why would you want to push that boundary? What joy could you derive from doing something that causes your spouse that level of panic attack discomfort?
Yeah, and then you feel like you're attacked by that. And it's like, it wasn't even telling you you couldn't do something. It was asking you to compromise. Heaven forbid.
And you've played Ouija board, which is not, it's not a game, by the way, but you've messed with this Ouija board one time. Why are you willing to absolutely like wreck your wife's mental health over something you played once?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like, here's the problem. Ouija board is made by Hasbro, which is a problem to begin with because that's branded as a game. I don't know how they did it. That is clever marketing to get it done that way. But like, my grandmother actually used to tell a story of this one time that her family played with a Ouija board. That Ouija board is still buried in the house walls in the house that I grew up in as a kid. And she did all the Italian and German and all of the other like superstitions, which is what she would have called it. It was folk magic, but all of those things to keep it safe. They literally buried it in the wall because she claims it nearly killed my uncle.
Because it can. Because you don't know what you're letting in. It's creating a portal that you don't control unless you have the intention, the spiritual know-how, and the shielding to create it in the way that you want. Like, that's what it does. And part of that is honestly because, and you might be like, but why? Why does it do that? Like, it's just a board with a bunch of letters and stuff. The arrangements of letters and stuff matters. The way that those things are laid out matters. It's creating a grid system that can be activated with your energy.
Yeah, and I don't know why people see a Ouija board as different from tarot cards. It's just a bunch of cards and stuff until you ask it a question and the cards have meaning and something comes through and engages with you.
But with the cards have a structure. The cards are a structured system. So even if you are just throwing it out to the universe, there's a lot less that anything can do to access you because it's a very...
You're not asking someone to move your
You're not
hand.
asking someone to come into your space. Plus, you're asking them to use the set number of words. It's basically a word bank to communicate with you. The Ouija board is infinite.
Yeah. Well, and again, it needs to touch you. Your hands are what is on that. What's that? The indicator called? The cursor?
Planchette.
It's not a cursor. Planchette. Yeah. Your hands are on the planchette. All of you are putting your spiritual energy out there to be manipulated to help the planchette move. Without the hands on it, it doesn't move. If it does, I mean, that's something else. But if your hands are on it and it is moving, something is touching you.
Yeah. And you're giving it enough energy, access to energy to move a thing. Like they
to do that.
Beings need access to energy to affect
you're letting it overshadow
the
you.
world. So you're letting that happen.
Yeah.
And like, again, I don't want anyone to be afraid of Ouija boards because you shouldn't be afraid of them. You should be cautious of them. You should use them with intention, but I don't think we should be fearful of them unless you're a drunk asshole playing with his friends. Yeah. And if someone's watching your wife have a panic attack, like let's say you call in a being, right? You call in this being and you're playing with your friends and you're not respecting the being either because you're now moving it on your own and just messing with them, right? This being's watching that occur, and that's probably upsetting to them because they're trying to communicate, you invited them in, and then you're not doing that. And then the being comes to, like, sees your wife have a panic attack about it. If I'm that being, I'm going to fuck you up. Like, absolutely.
Yep.
Like, I will come at you for that. Because what are you talking about? You're going to disrespect me and you're going to disrespect your wife?
Depending on its intention. It could go after her because it
could
sees
go
the
after
opening.
her too because she's vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like Ouija board with no intention is like spiritual omegle.
It is.
And then but it should be operator. Like, this is directly who I'm connecting to if you're going to use it. I'm talking to this person specifically. Nobody else. Shut it down.
No, I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that. And on the core, of course, this guy's an asshole. We've already established that. But at the core of it, like, spiritual stuff be damned. Like, if someone is putting a boundary down, that's actually a compromise. You are a bad person if you can't agree or at least understand where that boundary is coming from enough to try to make other compromises work. that's nuts.
100%. I don't know why
It's
it's
also
not
not a
hard.
loss. Like, you're not losing anything.
You could go to another house
Or just
and still do
not
it.
do it.
Like, or just, yeah, find something else to do. But it sounds like he gets, one of those thrills out of bugging her,
Yeah.
which
Again, I don't
irritates
believe that there was
me.
no issues in your marriage about the religion stuff before now. I don't believe that. That's a lie. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah. And to be clear, even if like Catholic, I get it, that's a spiritual practice and those are her boundaries within that spiritual practice. My spiritual practice, I would be like, let's not use the Ouija board.
Even if you're
So,
not a spiritual
yeah.
person and you're uncomfortable with a Ouija board, like, I don't even think her being Catholic has
Yeah.
anything to do with it. I think her being a
No.
person is like her being like, hey, actually, this is bad. Like, intuitively, this feels yucky to me. I don't like it.
Yep.
And like, I don't even think that
Yeah.
depends on
Hard no.
Catholicism at this point. I think it's just the fact that he's doing this
No.
very deeply spiritually violating thing. Anyway,
So that's
feel
how
free
we
to
feel
share
about
your
that.
thoughts, or if you have any extra spooky Ouija board experiences, go over to our YouTube. You can comment them there, or you can comment them on anything on any of our social medias. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, The Alchemist Inkwell. Comment there, or on, I think you can leave comments on Spotify now too. Spotify comments also. I keep wondering about that because I think I've said this on multiple episodes. I'm like, you can do that, but yeah.
Yeah, you can. I just don't know how to
Side
check
note
it
with
yet.
that though, please download this episode whatever you're listening to it on, or like, or subscribe, or heart, or share with everybody you've ever known. It really, really, really helps us out. We're trying to get this out there as much as possible. We've been doing this podcast for like 5 years, and we really want it to go further.
Well, and so many of you do the kindness of telling us how much this podcast means to you and how helpful it is to you, and we're so grateful for that. And we don't want to keep it a secret if it's helpful. So please feel free to share it with people if you think it would help them too.
Or at least just hype us up, give us good reviews, the things. We really appreciate it. Like, it means a lot to us. We love doing this, and we just want to keep getting to do it.
We love doing this.
It's our favorite.
Yeah.
Just writing books and talking on podcasts sounds perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and taking people on trips.
Also, if you ever want us to do a podcast tour, we would love to know more, like, to know that interest too. If you ever want to see us live do a podcast, if that's something that you'd be interested in, we'd love to do
We'd be
something
so
like
good at
that,
it.
like do it at a bookstore or something of that nature. We're super open to that, but we would love to know the gauged interest there if that's something you guys would all want. So if you want to let us know that too, that would be neat. We would do that. That'd be fun.
Awesome.
If you haven't experienced us together in person, we're a vibe, okay?
We are.
We're fun.
We do good.
I'm not being like egotistical on that too. It's just genuinely like we have a lot of fun, and it's very theatrical. Okay.
Yes, it is.
And there's ghosts. No, and there's spiritual stuff. Plus all of the gods that are with us.
Right.
No.
And whatever characters we happen to be channeling
Right.
for books at the time.
Amazing. Well, thank you all so
talk
much
to
for
the Babylonian
listening
gods?
and being here and being a part of the podcast. We appreciate you. We know that right now is a tough time. I will say one thing that I also have been working on in my personal space is accepting it being a tough time so that I can move through it with that consciousness and awareness and not any resistance. And I highly recommend everyone get to that point in some way for yourself too, because it's gonna be a tough time for a while. And I know that sucks. I hate saying it. I wish that wasn't the case. It is though. And so the more that we like accept that and acknowledge that and like can come to peace with that, hold hands with that, which doesn't mean you can't have other feelings about it too, but like understand like this is where we're at and we're going to do cool things within that space, the better and easier it's going to be.
Exactly.
Like truly.
Yeah. Just the one thing that I keep doing, this is my whimsy, is I am writing the story that I'm going to tell in a couple of years. And I get to decide what my character does and how proud I am to tell that story later. But right now I am in control of how that story goes.
Yeah, exactly. Like you get to stand in history right now, and that's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So,
It's wild right
So-
now. Yeah. One day it'll feel like a privilege.
I mean, again, tomorrow will be better, but today must happen first. And that's where we're at. Anyway,
Yeah, we've got good one-liners
I
this
know.
episode.
killing it on the one-liners. Someday we'll get our shit together and make merch of all of our stuff. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, we appreciate you all so much. You ready? Are you ready? You ready? All right.
I'm
And
ready.
we hope
I'm ready.
that
Yeah,
you 1, 2, 3 Go make some magic.
Go make some magic.
Woo.
Whoosh, whoosh.